So we want to welcome you personally to the Houston Wake Up Call Tour. Welcome, everyone. What a blessing it is to be here. We're Steve and Gina Merritt. We're actually from West Palm Beach, Florida. We're on a 2-week tour. We get back home on June 6th. We are there for 24 hours. We go back out on June 7th. Don't feel sorry for us because this is so much fun.
Yeah.
I think I got 5 contacts on the airplane today. Everyone's mobbing me. They're lined up and they're going to Steve because I had a line of people. I'm telling you what, it is the funnest thing we've ever done in our life. I mean, I worked for the airlines for 25 years. It was my passion. I loved flying. I loved being a flight attendant. I loved serving. I loved walking people to the gate. I loved taking the little kids when the moms were going to throw them out the window and taking them and saying, no, help me pick up the trash. I'm telling you what, this is so fun, but really, the product is such a game changer. It is emotional. We are so fired up because of the X39 product. So how many of you in here are new again? Put your hand up real high. Welcome, welcome. I'm telling you, you are going to be so blessed by what's going to happen to your body when I'd say it kind of like goes into a boom, like a reboot, and your body starts doing crazy, magical, miracle things.
Yeah.
Yes. So tonight we're going to be talking about this X39 patch. For those of you who came in and you are new, of course you got a patch behind your neck. We're not going to put it under your belly button. That would be inappropriate. So you got a patch behind your neck. So you're going to leave it on all night long. When you wake up in the morning, you're going to peel it off. Whoever invited you, if they gave you some samples, when you wake up in the morning, peel it off, throw it away, put a new one on, and wear it all day long for 12 hours. You wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I have mine right behind my neck. I don't know if you can see it. It's right back here. See it? There you go. Okay. I love it because when I'm out and about, someone asks me, what do you do? I can just like literally show it to them. I always wear it behind my neck because I'm not going to pull it on my pants and show my belly button. Okay. Hello. We gotta be good here. You know, we're going around changing lives. So anyways, this amazing product is incredible. But get this, for those of you who are new, $3.30 a day. Are you fired up? Did you want me to say $10,000 a month? I mean, come on. It's $99 a month. It is a complete game changer. $3.30 a day to wear this patch 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Complete game changer. That is why we called our tour the Wake Up Call Tour, because it is absolutely crazy. The testimonies. Steve and I could literally sit here on the ground and start crying like babies of the testimonies that are coming in. I'm talking physically and financially, baby. So if you're in here tonight, I don't know what you, like when I drove to Delta Airlines, you know, we have 4 kids. When I drove, we homeschooled them. Whoa! I would leave for 3 days thinking, oh, Lord, please protect my house, protect my husband, protect my kids. So listen, when I drove to work for money. I don't know if you drive to work for free, but I drove to work to make an income. So we're going to tell you tonight a part of the business, and I want you just to take a deep breath, because if you went to work, if you go to work for free, I mean, I don't really know how else to help you, but I went to work for money because I had bills. So we're going to talk about money tonight, but I want you to relax because listen, there is nothing out there like this. When you put this money in, I mean, we paid $15.99 22 months ago. Guys, I'm a flight attendant, so this does not distract me. Okay, I am here. Look at me. I'm here. I'm doing a show. They're coming in. They're finding their chairs. Because, you know, I'm used to you guys never looking at me anyways when I did the demo, you know. The emergency exits, you know. And then as soon as the captain goes, put your seatbelts on. We're making an emergency landing. Everyone goes, hi. Where do we go? What do we do? I said, well, listen. Follow me. See the blonde hair? Out the exit. Okay. We're going to have fun tonight. That's one thing I told Steve. We're going to build this business. We're going to have some fun. So listen, I'm telling you what, this product is a game changer. And we are so blessed that there is an income that can be made because people need the money and they need the health. And baby, that's why we called our team This Is It, because this is it. So say hi.
Hey, give Gina a hand for welcoming us all. And we'll say that we're excited to have all the guests that stood up tonight. We're just getting started here in Houston. I mean, the place is packed, but this is everybody in the Houston area that knows about what we'll be talking about. So it's a total first mover advantage for every single one of you that came tonight. And I want to congratulate you for taking the time, but it's not easy to get out, go through traffic, whatever you got to do, get here, just like we had to fly here. But I will say that people literally on the flight here, I mean, one thing you're going to see is we are not only going to help people with their health, but we're going to have a blast together. They even give free trips, 4 free trips a year. We're getting ready to go to Bora Bora in like 13 days for free. Okay? And we're saying, hey, we want to bring as many people, we want to bring an army with you with the next trip.
That's why we're here.
Which is called Punta Cana.
Yeah.
What's different than normal in any businesses, like say an insurance agency, they take the top insurance agents of the company. Here, this new trip that we're just launching, the newest person tonight, all the guests tonight, you can qualify. It's that easy. And they keep making it easier because our leaders here, Danny, and Diane, and Carrie, and Rick, and Gina, myself, we keep calling the company saying, let's make it easier for them. And they keep listening and making it. Now this is the easiest trip you're ever going to earn. Is that incredible? What's really fun, though, is that you are going to have a blast because Gina and her friends are the funnest people you ever want to go on a free trip with. All right? Because you don't want to go there and just have it's going to be,
we don't want to be boring.
It's a lot different than the last trip we went on. We had 250 of our friends. Wouldn't it be neat to do that instead of just, you and 4 friends or whatever? This is a whole different experience.
It is fun.
She mentioned it a bit lightly, but on the way here from Oklahoma City, literally, when Gina was just talking to people throughout the flight and before the flight, and people were waiting in line to talk to her, she just talked a little bit louder of what this technology. One guy said,
I didn't talk too loud. There was a precious girl in line that was afraid to fly.
Yeah.
And so I said, talk to me a little bit. What's going on? She just recently got divorced. She has 2 twin little girls going into kindergarten. I said, you know what? You're going to be so comforted because I'm a retired Delta flight attendant and I am right with you on the flight. And I said, come on, hug me. We swapped numbers. Let me tell you what. So it wasn't actually that girl. She's going through some stuff. I said, I would love to stay in contact with you. She, what's your number? What's your name? So we swapped numbers. But in the meantime, someone in that line, you don't know who people are watching. He said, I don't know what you do. I don't know who you are, but I liked what you did. I like that. And he went to Steve because I was already in line with 3 other girls.
So many other people were waiting to talk to her because as I pulled our bag out of the bin, a guy's cane fell out. And Gina leaned over the table and said, he was sitting behind us because we're all exiting now. You got to see what we do. And she started telling him about the X39. And then all the people hearing what she was saying she said, I'm going to wait outside. And as they came off the plane, they were all taking her number.
It's a true story.
Taking their number. And then one guy.
But I could have sat there and not said a word. No. But let me tell you, the miracles that are happening with this X39 patch are way too big. So this is not me. This is not X39. It is completely God. I'm telling you, it's goosebumpy.
Thank you. So this gentleman she was talking about starts walking back toward me because Gina had, you think people one thing is people say, oh, those leaders that did it, there's something special. They to do something different. Hey, a lady come out of the plane and said, Gina, lady, did you leave your glass case on the plane? And all of a sudden, yeah, she did leave the glass case.
And then I get an aha moment. Oh my gosh, I had my tennis bracelet inside the glass case. And the flight attendant loved me for, I was like, she's trying to help everyone on the plane. And she said, a lady saw your glass case and said, oh, I'll bring it to her. And she said, oh no, you're not bringing it to her. I'm bringing it to her. So the flight attendant grabbed my glass case with my tennis bracelet in it. She didn't know it was in it and brought it out to me. And I opened it up and I said, look at what was in it. Because your gut told you to bring it to me. Look at what you Say Q.
Okay, so
your name is?
she's got
I'm
all
writing a
these
good
people
letter.
lined up, talking to her, and she says, "Oh, the lady said you left your glass case," and then she says, "My tennis bracelet was in there." She whispered it to me. So I go and talk to the lady, and the lady won't let me go down the jetway to go get it. She says, "I gotta go," so I gotta wait for all the people to come off the plane. Then when she goes down there, all of a sudden that gentleman that she was talking about comes scrolling over, and I could see he was darting towards me, but he had waited in line, tried to talk to Gina. And he said, "I can't get to her because she's too busy, but I know you're with her. What do you guys do? What do you do?" I have a ranch somewhere in Texas, Danny, and he says that he wants, so we started chatting, come to find out his son was supposed to be a pro baseball player, got in this bad accident on an ATV with a friend, and he's hurting. And all of a sudden we start talking to him about his scars, like one of the biggest issues is a scar on his ankle. And we just heard all the doctors talking about how the scars, there's even a lady that just, everyone heard Dr. Stillman talking about the scar from a lady that got kicked by a horse. For years it didn't heal. Put the X39, I can't find the scar. So we start talking, we exchange numbers, me and him, and now he's all on fire. And he said, "The main reason I was talking to you," he didn't even know we were going to bring that up. He just said, "I wanted to know what you do because of your wife talking and showing how much she cared about the people on the plane and on the lady that was getting on the plane." So point is that if you just are out there and you be real with people and you care about them, people are going to notice it.
And talk a little louder.
Yeah. So that's just a little freebie, but we're not waiting for nobody. We're talking to everybody. You don't know who's looking. This is everybody in Houston, and we're just getting started. So you can break out of here and build an incredible business and bless a lot of people with the emotion of what happens to them with their health. That makes you feel incredible, but it doesn't put food on the table.
Yeah.
So you can bless your family by talking and promoting it and helping other people do the same thing. It is amazing what it can be done together. And the company has been rewarding and calling all of us saying, "Oh my gosh, they're blown away by the volume that's happening because of this as a team." Us and our leaders we're not blown away. We're expecting it. Gina said, God's got his hand on this. We're going to make this happen. We're setting records, and this is just the beginning. So it's a blessing you're here. That was just a little bit of a freebie. We weren't even planning on talking about that, but we had to let you know what's going on. That this is like, she said this is the easiest thing. So now we're like telling you, they're coming to us. We're not even saying much. We're just pulling the bag out. The canes are falling. Go ahead.
So, hey, for those of you who walked in, you got patched. So that's the first slide. Have you been patched? Yes, you have been patched. Everybody in here has got a patch on? Raise your hand. Woo! Yes. Who in here has got a testimony? Raise your hand. Oh, yeah, baby. I got lots. Okay, next slide.
Okay, so this is David Smith. He's the inventor of the X39. He's got over 130 patents because he lost track at 130, which is interesting. I mean, this isn't like your brother-in-law or your neighbor. You know, this is a guy he's ate, drank, and slept to come up with his X39 his entire life, and that is why it's working like it is, because you've got a product that's having these kind of testimonies. So he's a scientist and inventor specializing in age reversing. We live in Palm Beach County, the age reversing capital or city of the world, or the country anyway. And but we're not just talking about beauty.
They're all like this in Palm Beach.
We're talking about better quality.
Don't worry, I'm going to get to them. It's going to change that little. They're going to be happy.
We want to have better quality life for everybody. So that's what we're talking about, and that's what we're hearing from people. So in 2008, he started working towards stem cell research, which, by the way, is the hottest topic on the street. You say stem cell, you got something that can reactivate stem cells. A new technology is like a pin just dropped, and they want to hear everything you have to say. Nobody really knows a lot about stem cells. They know they need to be healthy. They don't know that they make up every organ in your body, by the way. You're just going to learn that tonight to start talking to people. So 10 years of research it took to bring this X39, this little technology, bring to market. By the way, there's a doctor on our info site, Dr. Stillman, says that he has $100,000+ machines in his practice. He heard about he was told about the X39 by our friend Renita Brannon, okay? He was very skeptical, which I don't mind from a doctor. I want them to be skeptical, all right, okay? But he started putting it on his patients, and he started hearing more powerful testimonies and better testimonies from the X39 than those $100,000+ machines. And that's, I mean, it looks like a Band-Aid, for crying out loud. Okay? You would never imagine, but this is what he did. And I love the stamina of David Schmidt because he stuck in there for 10 years. How many people would do that? Not many people. They give up on their dream. Okay? He has the grit, and he pushed it through. Here's the patent. It's a U.S. document. It's got to do what it says it does. And here's the genius of the X39. The light from your body, you can see us on with night vision goggles. All of our bodies portray light. That light, who would think of this? The light from your body mirrors off the patch, elevates your copper peptide. Now, if you've ever done any research lately, peptides are a very hot topic as well, but they have to be injected. Here, you just stick it on, the peptide is elevated. Oh my gosh, how many people would you want to help with that versus having a, God bless you. All right, so now, then what happens is it elevates your own stem cells that make up every organ in your body. The two difference between stem cell injections is this is number one, the cost. $99 for a month's supply, like Gina said, versus $10,000, $20,000. And they don't always work once. You might have to have them 2 or 3 or 4 times. And Tony Robbins in his book, Lifewave, talks about his stem cell injections. He says, hey, they're only $25,000. Like we all got that money in our pocket. Okay, so, and it doesn't always work the first time. Now, one thing that I didn't know as a pro athlete for over 25 years, no one told me this after 14 surgeries. Haven't had one therapist, one doctor tell me. We went to 37 physicals together, and not one doctor said to us, you both know that as you age, your stem cells are going dormant. In your brain, your stem cells are going dormant. In your heart, your stem cells are going dormant. No one, has any doctor told you? 22 months, I haven't found a friend that knows their stem cells are going dormant until I told them. We're like on a stem cell mission, right? So 30 years, half of your stem cells are active. And by the way, it doesn't take long. What's the peak performance of an athlete? 25 to 30. Half their stem cells are firing. At 60, you're lucky if 10% are active of your stem cells. I mean, when we signed up, I was 59. So I figured I had 2 stem cells left that were alive, that were active. You know what I mean? They're like one, but the only thing they're doing is waving bye-bye to the other. I'm getting ready to go. Right? I mean, until we put the X39 on, we're like, oh my gosh. People are recognizing it on the plane or something because we're just like on fire. Okay, just a couple nights ago, the planes were so far delayed that we got home at 3. Got to the Oklahoma City at 3 a.m. and we're just on fire about what, because we've been wearing this X39 for 22 months. And one thing we were talking about, we were walking through all the concourse and everything, was that it's like if you are patient enough to let it go to work. Like she's like saying to me, you realize that if you only had 2 stem cells active, Steve, you know how long it takes to kind of get the rest starting to go moving. I mean, it takes some time. So give yourself a little time. Now we've given him 22 months. It gets better and better and better. Her friend last night was, Canadian. Her friend last night that knows her very well said, you don't have one skin sunspot on your body at 62 years old.
Well, she actually said my face.
Your face.
I got it on my arms.
On her face, right? So anyways, that is basically what's happened to us, that we've been calling people, asking if you know anything about stem cells. People know they need to be healthy, but they don't know that they're going dormant. And that seems to wake everybody up. And that's why, like Gina said, we're on this wake-up call, because no one knows their stem cells are going dormant, and no one's heard of the X39, and that screams opportunity in both matters, your health and your finances.
So, hey, this is how the X39 works. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. If you don't know what phototherapy is, Google it. It's fascinating. Patented nanocrystal technology. So the inside is made of sugar and salts, which is derived from plants. Absolutely incredible. The patch reflects the light to activate. That's how it works. Absolutely incredible. Non-transdermal, that means nothing goes in your body, nothing goes through your body. Well, I'm on a lot of medicine. Well, that's great. Put the patch on. There's nothing goes in your body, nothing goes through your body. And I'm telling you what, I met a guy last night, I could cry. He showed me his before picture. Okay, we are not making any claims, but he was very bad with diabetes. Like, I'm talking very bad, like young, late 40s. Yeah. He was standing in front of me. I wanted to cry. I grabbed him. He said, I am completely off all my insulin. I was dying. dying. And he goes, I've been wearing the patch for 3 weeks. My body is completely transformed. So you can either choose to put the patch on, sign up, wear the patch daily, or not wear it. It's okay. But we'll pray for you. Here are benefits of the X39. Now, I love this because I have every single one of these. And I know that, how many people in here sleep better? Oh yeah, and that is a very important thing because our body produces a lot of stuff at night as we sleep. Believe it or not, it does. So I'm talking energy and vitality. My energy and vitality, I'm 62. I could run circles around 20-year-olds. I can run circles around my grandkids. I got 6.5. Absolutely incredible. My mental clarity is off the charts. I mean, I was telling Steve, we talked last night, and so in probably 6 months, I don't think I heard him say, where are my keys? I'm telling you, absolutely incredible. Where's my money? Where's my wallet? I'm like, after 6 months, he doesn't say that anymore, guys. It's worth the $3.30 a day for him. So listen, and when you take the patch off, ladies, you take it off and you throw it away. You don't save it for him for tomorrow. He's worth $3.30 a day. Come on, let's step it up a little bit. And you know what else? This patch will get rid of grumpyitis. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Oh, people are coming to me crying. So, but all of these results are when he does his case studies, and I'm telling you, it's absolutely incredible. Now, if you are my age, you're mature, don't put the patch on and think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a miracle in 24 hours. Your body is 62 years old. Okay, he did a lot more damage on his body than me. He took a week to get a result. I took 6 weeks. But let me tell you what, from my hair growing like crazy, to my skin reversing, to my eyes went better. I don't know how you say it, but 2 notches better. I rarely have to put on my reading glasses. Incredible. My gums are completely transformed. I spent $20,000 8 years ago. It's called pinholing. They do the procedure. You're asleep for 3 hours. You wake up. You don't talk for 5 days. Boom. I did it. I followed instructions, girls. It was very difficult. But the procedure did not work. It did not take. So it was like $20,000 out of my pocket into his pocket. He was happy. I wasn't. And it did not take. But I've been wearing this patch for 22 months. My gums are completely transformed. I had the worst sensitivity. I used to work in a dental office, so I know a lot about teeth. I had tissue. They call it tissue. Your gums is tissue. That was disconnected. They were between my central and my lateral tooth. Completely, it is reattached. I did not do anything but wear this patch. When I went to go to the dentist 3 weeks ago, they did the probing, and I'm like, I hate that thing. So anyways, I thought, okay, we're going to have a miracle here. So she's putting the probe in. She goes, oh my gosh, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? She's putting the probe in, and I used to have 3s, you know, like not a lot of 3s, but half 3s turned into 2s. That is amazing. My 2s turned into 1s, and nothing else got worse. She goes, your gums in your mouth, I've known you for a long time, is completely transformed. Even my orthodontist is like blown away. It's what happened. So anyway, my restless leg syndrome is gone. Sleeping like a baby. My veins in my legs from being a flight attendant for 25 years wearing high heels. My veins are completely transforming. Mental clarity off the chart. Okay, get this. I did a bone density test about 4 months ago, and it came back that I was 25 years old. I'm 62. I want to jump on the chair. That is amazing. The girls in the office were like, what the heck? I'm like, boom, X39 is so easy. See it right here? It's right behind my neck. So, and then the last thing I did was I got blood work done. My son-in-law is getting a State Farm agency, and he said, I need a couple more polyps. I said, all right, I'll give my blood, my urine, whatever I got to do, help you out, So I got this insurance policy. They called me up, and they said, your blood work came back. State Farm called me. They said, you are Prestige Elite. I said, what is that? They said, you are as if you are a marathon runner. I said, the only running I do is in the middle of the night from the bed to the bathroom and back. I haven't worked out in 2 years, but I've been wearing this patch. Is that amazing? I mean, that is something to brag about. That is absolutely incredible. And I'm telling you what, I just feel absolutely energized. Yeah, I'm energized. And the mental clarity, which I already said, is just incredible.
Okay, so this is a topography map of a woman's brain that's 77 years old. I can't get anybody to take a look at this that has common sense that doesn't get on the X39, all right? So watch. This is her brain without the X39. Now, she wore the patch behind her neck. The case studies are different. Some wore below the belly button, some behind the neck. Everyone in this case study wore them behind the neck. And here is her brain without the X39 on. Red means inflammation. Is that good? Okay? This is only 3 weeks on the X39. Look at all inflammation is gone. Start to have more brain coherence. And this is in 6 weeks. Let's see how fast that works within 6 weeks. Complete turnaround, better brain coherence, no inflammation whatsoever. That is wild. I mean, it's incredible. You do not want to have inflammation in your brain. And by the way, this is not just one 77-year-old woman's brain. This is everyone's brain that's not wearing the X39. I mean, think about it. Their brain is getting inflammation as you age. You don't know when it started, by the way. And it's not only her brain. It's your heart, your liver, your lungs, your kidney. Okay, maybe it's not, but what if it is? You never know until you start putting the X39. And that's why we're seeing the testimonies. And the reason why you'll hear the testimonies are so from all different parts of the body is because they're going to the weakest link. Your body organs are made up of stem cells and they need to be active. And because they're not being active, they go to wherever the person is struggling. And that's where we're hearing incredible testimony. So, and again, if someone doesn't see this, when we share it with them, David mentions to me that you can get the X39 does work if you get within 6 inches of somebody. So you can actually turn their thinking around by just getting close, my friend. You know what I mean? And if you move, I move. You know, we just move around, and then eventually, maybe their brain balances out, okay, and they make the proper decision. But hopefully, you can stick it on them. And I've never seen a product in our industry that you can use the product to help them make a decision. Okay?
Yeah. So here are X39 long-term results per the case studies, and this is an amazing website that all of the leaders with This Is It team have created. It's called This Is It, because this is it, info. So you just go thisisitinfo.com. So if you're here tonight and you're brand new and we didn't answer all your questions, we apologize. But that's the site you want to go to because you don't want to procrastinate. You want to get your answer and boom, get yourself locked in on the patch. Within the first few days, I love this, 4,000 genes begin to reset. That is major. Now, we cannot say this because he did case studies. So that's why we can say this. Is that incredible? Yeah. The guy is absolutely genius, David Schmidt. Within 6 weeks, your brain has become balanced. And I thought, whoa, this is serious. Our family, our coworkers, our friends, our neighbors, our brains are not balanced. Yikes. Okay.
Pretty much. Now you know why. You know there's some people like, I thought something was wrong with them now, you know? Yeah.
So within 3 months, your collagen is increased. And on the This Is It info site, the third video down is Dr. Leland Stillman. And he talks literally about that when you put this X39 patch on, you wear it daily, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. It gives you more collagen than any supplement or powder. Boom, ladies, is that a wake-up call? Yes, it is. Within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. And I love this one because we have so many testimonies of heart reversal. It is goosebumpy. So I'm going to just tell you really briefly. Again, the patch doesn't heal, treat, cure, diagnose anything, but you put it on, your body goes to work and heals just like God. Your body starts to heal just like God intended it to. And I'm telling you what, miracles are happening. So my dear friends are 79 years old. I met them when my daughter is now 36. She was 4. I was buying a washer and dryer. Guys, I'm going to be humble. We were so broke, I had to borrow my mother's credit card to buy the washer and dryer. But I met them. I bought the washer and dryer, paid my mom back. Boom, boom. Thank you very much. But I have stayed friends with this couple. They are amazing mentors and just godly people to Steve and I. So I called them about the patches. They said, no, we're not interested. We're just too old. we're moving, we're too busy. So anyway, I said, okay, no problem. But why don't you research it? Write down, thisisit.info.com. And what do you know? 3 days later, she calls me, Carolyn calls me, and she says, we changed our mind. So because they're such dear friends of mine, we do not give out a lot of patches. I will tell you that right now. But because they're dear friends of mine, she was very hesitant. I gave her 15 and I gave him 15. So in that sleeve, that's called a sleeve, there's 30 patches for the whole month for like me, and then 30 patches for Steve. So that's what our monthly subscription is. So I gave them one sleeve and I said, but there's one requirement. You have to take a log, and every day you got to text me. Well, guess what? On day one, I'm like so fired up. I'm like, yeah, that's X39. He hasn't walked in 3 years. He walked 1 mile day after day one on the patch. That is a miracle. Get that body moving, right? So then she's wearing the patch. She's wearing it for 1.5 months. She has a stent that before she started wearing the patch, they already had this procedure planned for her to go in and get this stent repaired. It was 69 blocked. Okay, so she goes the day of the procedure wearing X39 patch behind her neck for 1.5 months, goes in for the procedure. He puts her in, the doctor to check, pulls her back out. Carolyn, you don't need the procedure. Your valve was clogged 69%. It is now 32. Do you think she jumped up on that table? She was getting ready to get operated on. Like, yeah! I mean, she's so fired up. Now get this. So now she has a pacemaker. She's had a pacemaker, okay? The battery died. The doctor said, I'm too busy. I can't schedule you for the surgery for 8 weeks. Her pacemaker kicked on all the time. Of course, obviously, the battery is dead. So you definitely know that it had been working because the battery's dead. So she says, okay, no problem. She's been wearing the patch for, I think, maybe a year, quite a year now. So she goes, the battery, was dead for 8 weeks. Nothing happened. And I said, listen, I just say to you, I always go on my gut because that's God. I go on my gut. You go get that battery in, because if it don't need to kick on, it won't. And that battery will last forever. I said, you go get that new battery. But can you believe 8 weeks she's in there and the battery is dead and she's still around? The doctor is like, what in the world? And she's like, X39. So it's just incredible. The testimonies, again, the patch doesn't treat, cure, heal, or diagnose, but you put it on and your body goes to work. This is how you wear the X39. So when he does his case studies, he has a group that wear it below the belly button and a group that wear it behind the neck. You can literally put the patch anywhere in your body. You wake up in the morning, you go, oh my gosh, this shoulder is aggravating me. Boom, put the patch right on your shoulder. Your knee, put it on your knee. I wear it behind my neck because I don't have any issues. I was not abusive to my body like Steve Merritt. Just kidding. Anyways, I'm kidding. So we're just trying to have a little fun. So you wear the patch 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and you throw it away. Drink extra water. You should drink extra water anyways. But I do believe that the extra water does help your body as it's doing its own work, and God is moving in your body. I'm telling you what, you're not going to believe it. You're going to be calling whoever invited you here tonight saying, thank you. Thank you for being bold, and thank you for inviting me and telling me about this. So we do have 2 testimonies that are going to come up, and you can go ahead and introduce the first one.
My name is Eloise Clemens. People call me Ellie. I'm from Richmond, Texas. I'm going to say back in July of last year, my husband went to 3 different doctors, and they basically told him he had arthritis in his hips and in his hands. His hands were starting to form knots and things like that. I started praying. Because they basically said that was it. That was his life, the pain and all that. I prayed, and I said, I cannot accept that from my husband. And I also was praying for something for income for us. February, good friend of mine calls, tells me about the patches. We get on the patches. My husband was leery at first, but got on him. And I can tell you right now that when he would first get up off the couch, he'd be walking like this. No more. I'd sit there and watch him watching TV, and his hands he'd be rubbing his fingers because they were hurting almost every night. Not anymore. No more handful of Advil anymore. No more cream in the middle of the night for that hip. His energy level went off the charts, and he's not snoring anymore.
Wow.
All right? I mean, $3.30. He's not snoring anymore. All right? All right, so let me talk about me. So I was diagnosed as with high blood pressure about 11 years ago. Actually, it was this month, 11 years ago. I was at stroke level, 195 over 165. I mean, I was always 120 over 80. All of a sudden, one day it wasn't. So they put me on blood pressure medicine. Regulated it for years. About 4 years ago, all of a sudden it started going high again. So they put me on 2 blood pressure medicines. One in the morning that had a little bit of a diuretic, and one in the evening. 2 different types of medicine. Well, when I went back to my doctor in March, started in February, the patches, February 17th. When I went back to the doctor in March, she was like, wow, what's going on? I said, what do you mean? She says, your blood pressure is so low, we need to take you off one of your meds. So they took me off the one in the morning. She says, how about your swelling? I said, well, I'm not swelling anymore. I'm not doing any of that stuff anymore. And she says, great, so we're going to get you off that medicine. I'm a diabetic. When I was had my blood work done in November, I was 6.9. A1C was 6.9. When I was there in March, it had gone to 6.1. So I'm not on any medications for diabetic because I am almost at target. I'm down to 1 blood pressure medicine. My husband's not nudging me anymore, so apparently I'm not snoring anymore either. And but the one thing that I did notice as soon as I started taking was the energy, the clarity. Oh my God. I'd walk into my home office sometimes and I was overwhelmed. Saw those piles of stuff and I'd just walk out. Not with the patches. That next day, a couple of days had been on them, and I got in there and I tackled all that paperwork. I mean, it was awesome. The energy was awesome. The sleeping is great. And then I started noticing, I woke up one morning and I had these white bumps all over my neck. And ladies, you put your cream on, you feel those bumps, but you don't really see them. I couldn't figure out what it was, but they were drying up and falling off. There's no more bumps. So, anyway, I'm excited about it. I've only been doing it since February. I am so excited to see what else I have in the future for myself.
Cheryl Durbin Blackwood, and I'm from Spring, Texas, a little north of Houston. 3 years ago, my husband broke his neck. Took him a year to be able to feed himself. He's a quadriplegic. Had a bed sore, 5 inches, bone exposure. For 2 years, we went to doctors, and they treated him with collagen, a wound vac, and hyperbaric. They came in last year in March and said, no more hyperbaric. It's never going to heal. They had it down to about yay big. There's nothing else we can do for him. And my friend Lori called me and brought me a sleeve of patches. I put them on him for a month. It is closed and has been closed for over a year now. And they said that would never, ever happen. He's determined to walk, and I can see his progress. Don't know how much of it's a patch. Don't know how much it is his determination. But every day, he's a little bit better about getting up. He cannot get out of bed by himself. He can't do anything by himself but feed himself. But if I can get him on the side of the bed, he can pull himself up. Well, for 2 weeks now, he's been able to move his feet to the side of the bed.
Yeah.
I still have to help him sit, but it's a progress. Last night, he come in and goes, oh, my neck's killing me. And I said, well, let me see if I can rub it. And I rubbed it. He said, oh, don't touch it. So let me put a patch on it and see if that will help. So this morning, I said, how's your neck? And he goes, fine. So tonight before I left, I said, how's your neck? You need another patch? He said, no, it's fine. So we're just waiting to see what happens between his determination and the patch. Real quickly about myself, I am diabetic also, and I have been using the patch more religiously because there's a lot to do when you take care of somebody 24/7. But my daily fasting has been less than 130 and as low as 118 now for 2 weeks. And it's never been less than 175 and more like 225 ever since he's had his accident. Because you don't take care of yourself, you take care of somebody else. So I'm very grateful to Lori for having given me the patch and giving me the opportunity to help heal my husband. Thank y'all.
First, what is your husband's name?
Carl.
Carl. Everyone in this room is going to be praying for Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And again, the patch doesn't treat, cure, heal, but come on. Why do you think we're on fire? Do you hear those two testimonies? I mean, how could you be selfish and not share this? This is so simple. Peel the paper off, stick it on the person. It's incredible.
You know, the great thing is that you didn't realize when you come to a get-together like this what kind of responsibility you have. You don't know who's talked to Lori, didn't know that she was going to talk to Cheryl. I mean, what if somebody would have said no along that line, that fine line of everyone like saying, oh, I'm skeptical. Praise God they weren't cynical, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know who is going through what cases. In every family, somebody is praying for something with their health or their finances. What I love about this is that we're a team and we're all going to help everybody win whatever they're going through. Whatever they're going through. You don't have too many of that kind of things in life. I mean, all we're about here tonight is we want to pat you on the back and say you can win, you can succeed, and you can have better health. That doesn't normally happen at the office. I mean, how many people coming up with your boss saying, hey, I want you to take my job? I mean, we're all here saying, hey, we want you to be where we're at. We want to help everyone get to where we're at. And that's why we're on this wake-up call tour. That's why we got some incredible leaders that are here in this room that are helping everybody win and succeed. And that's what it's all about.
And Cheryl, right? Before you leave, I want to give you a sleeve of patches because I can tell by your heart you're struggling. And it's either him gets the patch or you get the patch. And I want to give you a sleeve of patches to take home so you don't have to.
After you've heard all this and you realize that nobody knows this X39's around, this screens opportunities. We're going to talk a little bit about it, but I want you to first help you this. The first thing somebody might say when they hear about the opportunity is, oh, I need to know everything about what they said about the patch. Guys, let me help you with something. The people that know the least usually sponsor the most people. We teach them, though, to make sure you watch at least the first 3 videos. The first one is about phototherapy, how the patch mirrors off the light from your body. The next one is David Schmidt explaining the X39. And the third one is the MD, Dr. Stillman, how he uses it in his practice, how he was skeptical. Very interesting, but we say at least watch those first 3 videos. Then you can go and look at the 80 case studies if you want. You can go and spend a week on there if you want. But you could, the great thing about it is that my friend Danny in the room, right, is at the highest rank, and he loves the fact that you can send every person you meet. So we didn't have to say, like, what do you do for a living? What do you have? Okay, we got to send the athlete this video. We got to send the doctor this video. Somebody this one. Everyone gets the exact same link. This is at info.com. I've never seen anything like it. I love that it's not a networking website. This is our own team site, like Gina said, so it has no network marketing appeal. All they're talking about is the X39 and why it's working. There's a whole section of doctors in there, okay? Whole section. One of them is a anesthesiologist for like 40 years. He said, this is the biggest breakthrough in medicine that I've ever seen in my 40-year career. So, and all these doctors are all on our team, and they only just got started in the last 22 months. So this isn't like someone's been in for a long, they're just learning about the device and the technology just recently. So this is your crutch, so you don't have to know hardly anything. And if you learn anything, because I'm going to kind of teach you into the business side of it right now, you never want to be the source of information. So if you're kind of thinking like you're acting like a doctor, don't do that. Number one, most important thing in our industry is to always point to the resource. So you aren't the resource because you don't want to be the resource, so you've got to be there all the time. All right? So let's talk a little bit on why this is working and what's happening. Number one, company's been around for 19 years. In November, it's going to be their 20th year anniversary. No one's hardly heard about it for years. It's been doing about $20 million for about 17 and a half years, mostly promoted by doctors, okay, which is interesting. They don't really took it like a business. The company was supposed to be built like a business, but they kept it a secret, basically just putting it on their patients, which is interesting. It's interesting that doctors saw that much in it, though, okay? Now, the next thing is the X39 came into play just toward the end of COVID, all right? And the company started growing to about $100 million when our team came on to play, when Gene and I came on and we started making phone calls to our friends, okay? And now the company has grown from 100 million to 430 million in the last 22 months because we all took it serious like a business, promoting the X39, telling what it's doing for people, but then saying, hey, let's go tell some people so that you can have your patches and your sleeves for free. That's a good thing, right? You can't really get any over-the-counter drugs for free. You can't get your chiropractor to get you to go for free. Here, you get to start getting your product for free, and then you can start generating an income, and the company is literally, we're on a rocket ship to 600 million by the end of this year. We're going to take this to $1 billion. It's wild what's about to happen. You know they pay 60% to our friends, 60% of what comes in to our friends and to people that are building the business. So when they hit $1 billion, 600 million is going to get paid out to somebody in this room.
Yeah. Woo.
Right? I don't want to say this is oil type money, but stuff going up. Right? So we're here in Texas because we know everything's bigger. And so do you. Right? So how do you know somebody came from Texas? They tell you. Right? So, okay, now, so we know that you guys got some big enough mouths like we got in South Florida. Now, we're open in 75 countries. I love the fact that it's been open 19 years. It's not a startup, okay? Because startups usually don't start up. 75 countries. They just opened up in South Korea. And you're saying, oh, what about that? Well, I sponsored a friend who sponsored another friend who knew another friend who knew a bunch of people in South Korea. We didn't even know that. We didn't know we signed up. We actually were wondering. We saw there was a little bump in North America, and that's why we really got started, because we wanted to build in North America. Somebody knew somebody in South Korea. They opened up in South Korea. We didn't even know they were going to open up in South Korea. We just signed up like you would. Okay. Next thing you know it, they have 15 people hit the highest rank, and 13 of them are our team in 1 week. That's wild. So you don't even know what can happen here. This is totally different. As I share this plan, I want you to get this. Every profession that you basically do, unless you like own a mobile service or whatever, where you could get that subscription, which every one of us said, I want to find something like that. A flight attendant, for instance, as long as she shows up, she gets paid. If you're in real estate, you sell houses, you get paid. You're the most prominent attorney in Houston. As long as you show up in court, you get to keep your stuff. Am I right? Okay? But if you don't show up, something happens and you start losing things. This works completely different, was never taught in school. Nobody ever taught this, okay? This is taught where you're not only getting paid for your own sweat equity. So me and her, our whole life, basically showing up and raising our kids, we got paid for our own sweat equity. Here it's totally different, okay? What happens here is that people get started in their own business. And whether you build it or not, the company, it just keeps growing. The company's a number one momentum company in the entire industry. No one even knew who they were 22 months ago. Now they're number one, and nobody still knows who they are. That's like putting first mover advantage for everyone. That's a wake-up call for all of you. No one knows who they are, but they're number one. Okay? The company just told us that our team is growing faster than the growth of the company. Okay? So we're the number one fastest growing team in the number one company. That means we're the number one fastest growing team in the entire industry. Imagine if you were that in real estate or whatever. We're the number one. Right? I mean, I think Texans like to be number one. Am I right? Yeah. We put this thing together. It was our first one that we ever had. And the company grew 40% in 1 month. You ever go to work and say, I love what I do. I just wish I get paid what I'm worth. This is the third one that I signed up because somebody sold the other company and they went into what I didn't say in that one chart. And they had Me Too products. They had weight loss. They had skincare. They had supplements. They had stuff that every other network company has. So if you ever have a networking friend that didn't win and succeed, they want to know why they didn't succeed, because they all have the same product. Right. You need this product because your stem cells are going dormant. And that's why people are more prone to sickness, disease, recover slower. All the things they just said has to do with your stem cells. And when you say that and no one knows about it, it screams opportunity. You hardly ever get someone asking me about a disease or any complicated medical question. I never get it because I never go down that science route. I'm just saying your whole issue is your stem cells. What don't you understand about that? And they never ask me where to stick the patch because it's a very simple answer if they ask me, because Cheryl did an amazing job. He said his neck hurts, stick it where it hurts. Is there any complication about that? When you want to build something big and fast, it's got to be something very simple and duplicatable. It can't be complicated. The hardest part about somebody that's very educated a lot of times is they try to make something simple hard. It's exploding like crazy because everybody gets it. And the company awarded our team as the fastest growing team, meaning that we're patching the most people. Because how do you be the fastest team? You got to patch the most people. Yeah. But we're patching the most people because we keep it so simple.
So, hey, we're not sure what you're looking for, but for Steve and I, we had 4 kids, man. We needed more time with our kids. That meant we needed more money. I mean, I got a 50% pay cut at Delta, and then a couple months later, they said, you got to pay for half your health insurance. A couple months later, they said, you got to pay for your own parking. We're taking your parking lot away. I was like pulling my hair out. I'm like, if I keep working for them, I'm going to have to pay them to go to work. So we were literally praying for 1 year for the right company, the right product, the right ownership, and God's favor. And I'm telling you what, slam dunk, we got it all. So be excited. You're in the room at the right time with the right product and the right team of people. The leadership here is phenomenal.
Okay, now, real quick, you're going to get in, you're going to build a business. It's very similar to franchising. You're going to get set up. Now, all you do is you pick how many sleeves you want, okay? So how many sleeves, like Tina said, 1 sleeve is for 1 person for 30 days. So you pick 3, 5, or 19. I'll explain that in a bit. But you get started in your own business. Now, you're in your own business. Instead of promoting sub sandwiches or signs or burgers, you're promoting X39. And you don't have any brick and mortar, you're just out on the street or you're on your phone, all right? You can build it however you want, but you don't have to worry about the expenses that a normal business has. You're going to build a right team and a left team, and all they're going to do is all those people we just showed you, everybody in this room, is just going to get signed up, and they're going to go down a right team and a left team, okay? And the volume of the sleeves going up creates the money that they pay you every week, up to $25,000 a week. Now, there's no cap of generation. So your friends, husband's friend, everybody's friend, okay, gets put down there, and nobody knows the people that are underneath you, but you get paid for all the people if you don't know them. I've never seen that in sales. And it starts, yes, it can be $100 a week, then it can be $500 a week, $1,000 a week, okay? A lot of people say, Steve, why do you keep talking about so much money? I grew up in Wisconsin. If anyone knows Wisconsin, it's the most complacent place of people. Like most of my cousins, I got 32 of them that live there still, do not have a passport, okay? I drove a Datsun B210, primer gray and black, okay? And I was happy. If you're not happy where you're at, you're probably not going to be happy when you start driving a $1 million motor coach, right? You got to be happy with where you're at. So I didn't forget where I came from, but I try to get people to think a bit bigger than where they're at. That shouldn't be too hard in Texas, okay? Come on, right? So you can make up to $25,000 a week from the volume that's going up. How do you do it? You put your cousin to the right, you put your mom to the left, you put your sister to the right, you put your brother to the left. Just put people in right and left, and you sponsor them. And you think, does that seem too complicated? You know what I love about this is there's no homework. Now, you might laugh, but I mean, think about in your career. If you're going to go pitch somebody in your sales rep, you better do your homework, okay? If you're going to do a case in your attorney, you better do your homework. You got to be prepared in almost everything that you do here. The worse you are, the easier they believe they can do it, and they sign up. Yeah. So you never want to get very good. You just do it, okay? So you just put people right, and you put people left, and that volume is created in this one portion of the compensation plan, $25,000 a week. Where it caps. Now, most of the people I've spoken with in 22 months do not have a problem with capping at 1.3. Are you okay? Yeah. You know that since the company's been around for almost 20 years, they never had a profit pool quarterly payout. I called the owner. I sent him an email. I said, I believe that I'm going to be bringing in some high rollers in Houston. I didn't know you were coming tonight. In about 12 months ago when I asked him this, but I predicted. I was like, okay, we're going to have some big meetings, all right? My friend Danny's going to be there, okay? We're going to have some people. My friend ZR Kendricks, he's going to bring in some high rollers. So I said, these folks are going to roll up their shirts and go to work for you. Let's offer them a quarterly bonus if they really roll up their shirts as they go to work, and he did. They've never had it. In 19 years, they never had a bonus like this. And they've been paying it out. My friends are like in tears by how much money they're getting paid. And they're like saying, we didn't even have to ask for the bonus and we got it. That's incredible, right? So we're going to help you. It's up to you. We don't even have that we don't even have that in the presentation. I'm just telling you that you could buy a serious car. You could buy property with one quarterly check. Okay? That's pretty interesting. So, want to give you real quick before I go past that. The core, we call it a core rank to hit, is called manager. So what you do to go manager, like if you're a guest, all the ones that sit up, your first goal is to put 2 people right, 2 people left. Don't make this overcomplicated. Just start, what is my first goal, and then we'll tell you the next one. And what I love about this is you do not quit what you do. Yeah. If you and I were like thinking about something to do and invest in and build, like say a restaurant, we'd have to quit cold turkey everything we ever did, and now we're married to that restaurant, and it better work because we put everything our heart. We went to the bank for everything, right? Here, you're starting with $500 to $15.99 is the most you can spend. You can't start a lawn maintenance business for $15.99, okay? And you'll be sweating. I mean, it's be hotter than hot out there, right? Okay, forget the little pavilion that you're hot. You're like glowing, okay? So now, you take and you get in your business, okay, and now you're going to take and you build this part-time. We call it a strategy called the Pro Strategy. We encourage you to patch, whether you call or patch them in person, about 5 people a day. You don't have to talk to 5, but I just put 5 that you can expose 5 people a day, and some are going to be quick because they're busy, everybody's busy, but you're going to find out as you're talking who's interested. All of a sudden, all these ailments come up that you've been hearing tonight, you didn't know. All of a sudden, people start saying, like Cheryl did, I was praying for a business as well. Or was it Ellie? Ellie was saying, we are looking for an opportunity and my health. So people start talking to you what they have. Just like on the airplane, the guy's wondering what Gina does, and then he says, oh my gosh, my son needs this. He didn't even know that. So you don't start talking to people and hear what people need. So if you're a manager, 2 right, 2 left, stand up if you hit the first rank, because they just want to see if anyone's hit the first rank in Texas. Let me help you with something. Once you hit manager, you can go all the way. It's just, now you're just going to help people go manager because you could do it, all right? They can do it. I mean, I'm a coach, so I love to coach people and help them win and succeed. And I love to help people think they can't do it, believe they can do it, right? I will say this much, that the great thing about this is that you're not really trying to sell people. You're trying to find people that want something more for their family. Them are the ones that are attracted to it. If you feel like you've got to sell somebody on it, that's not what we're looking for, because then you can't have buyer's remorse here, because we're building a team of people that are going to go build a business. Okay, now the next rank is you take and you help person on the right and the person on the left go manager, and they call you a director. Now, I know the guests that are here do not want to be called names. But if they start sending you $25,000 a week, you care if they call you something. Call me Tutti Frutti. Don't care, right? So if you hit director, stand up. Now you can make up to $2,500 a week when you're making this as a director. After director is senior director. So you have to help 2 people go director to be a senior director. Stand up if you're a senior director. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, so you just have to talk to everybody. And you don't know who it is. But you only need a good one. The way the plan really works is, now there's a little structure and everything, but you will figure the structure out when all you need is a good person on the right and a good person on the left, somebody that's seriously looking. What do you think your odds are? Let's just say in the next 36 months to find 2 people. Everyone in this room can be totally free. Is whatever you ever want, whatever dreams that you got in your life, you can always put on the shelf. Maybe something happened during the pandemic, you had to put your dreams on the shelf. This is a wake-up call for you tonight.